Every trader starts a journal, but almost nobody has one 30 days later. My journal writes itself and it tells me when I broke my own rules, whether I'd like to hear it or not. In this video, I'm going to show you an automation that turns my broker account into a self-writing journal that also grades itself. Alright, so today's automation is going to be a nice one for the day traders among us, especially the traders that have been wanting to journal but have been struggling to keep up with the journaling. What you're looking at right here is a little dashboard I created for myself that keeps track of all my trades and also keep track of certain other metrics that might be of use to me as a trader. On top here you see some statistics. You see win rate, total P&L, profit factor, etc. And we even have this nice little interactive graph right here, where on the y-axis we keep track of the cumulative P&L, and on the x-axis we keep track of the trades over time. So basically what you track with the graph like this is how profitable am I over time. Now what we see right here are the trades. This is the journal itself with a bunch of columns. We see the symbol that has been traded, the entry containing the date and the time of the trade, the price of the ticker at the time of the trade, verdict. So the verdict is the first part where AI comes into play. For demonstration purposes, I created a specific setup, but please keep in mind that I am not a day trader myself. So I just used a random trade setup that might be nice to demonstrate. Little disclaimer, this is not financial advice. Don't use this setup yourself because you are going to lose money. The specific setup I use for this video goes as follows. Price action needs to be above the 200 EMA. We need to have seen a valid pullback to the 20 EMA. And finally, the RSI needs to be rising. Now, as you can see, this is not a very complex setup at all, but it's quite nice to demonstrate. Right next to it, we see the P&L column, which is basically going to tell us whether we're making money or losing money. And right next to it, we see a note that's actually a little analysis from the AI telling us why the trade was valid or why the trade was invalid. So in this case, we do have price action above the 200 EMA, but we don't have a valid pullback to the 20 EMA and we don't have a rising RSI. The AI is then going to tell us the uptrend is intact, but price is far from the 20 EMA and RSI is overbought at 72.84. Not a valid pullback entry. Now, this is very nice. I'm going to show you how it works below the hood. It is basically a trading robot that marks its own trade. It buys and sells crypto on its own day and night using pretend money. What I used for this was a paper trading account from Alpaca, where you get, I believe, 100 grand to play around with and test your trades on. So it isn't playing with real money. Everything happens in a practice account. The automation itself, how does it work? We have 4 workers, basically. The first one is going to be the scout. The scout is going to be watching the market and looking for opportunities to buy and actually also placing the trades if he likes what he sees. Secondly, we have the clerk, which writes every purchase down in a journal. And this journal is a neon database running in the background. Thirdly, we have the judge, which is the AI, and the AI is going to mark each and every single trade as valid or invalid based on a specific setup you give it. It's also going to give you the feedback in the form of a note. Finally, we have the closer. The closer is going to close on the trade or sell on the trades once enough money has been made or enough money has been lost. They never talk to each other. They leave notes in a shared notebook, and that's the whole trick. Everyone wakes on a timer, so all of these agents are going to be deployed into the cloud using trigger.dev, and they're going to be running on different scheduled tasks. So first we have the scout. The scout is going to run every 15 minutes. Secondly, we have the clerk. The clerk is going to run every 10 minutes. Finally, we have the closer, which is going to run every 30 minutes. Now, the nice part about this is that it runs on a server and it doesn't require a laptop to run. You can go to sleep, close your laptop, and this journal is basically going to keep track of itself, and it's also going to grade each and every single trade. Now, what actually happens if we go through the workflow of one single trade from start to end, the scout gets triggered by the scheduled tasks. It wakes up and looks, it checks recent price history to see if there are any opportunities. Secondly, it's going to buy if it likes what it sees. If not, nothing is going to happen. Thirdly, the clerk, if a purchase has been made, it's going to log this to the journal. After this, the AI is going to mark it valid or invalid and leave behind some feedback. Finally, the closer closes a trade if a certain threshold has been met. If not, the trade remains open. Finally, the only thing that you as the trader have to do is read the scoreboard and analyze the data and see if the trade setup you created actually works. Now, one thing that you might have seen from the little dashboard that I'm going to show you over here is that we have a lot of invalid trades right here. In fact, the only valid trade we have right here, that's the East one, where all of the criteria has been met and it was profitable, to be fair. Why do we see so many invalid trades? The reason for this is that we built in that it sometimes buys badly on purpose. If a trading bot only traded your setup, actually would have no use for an AI actually analyzing your trades. What you want to have happen is some percentage of the time you want it to actually not adhere to the strategy, to firstly see if the marking works correct, and secondly to see if your trade setup is actually working. So in my opinion, this is actually one of the most useful things built into this automation. Finally, some results and benefits. What you gain as a trader: you can stop rebuilding the strategy. That was never the problem. The problem was that you didn't stick to journaling the strategy and analyzing the journal. You can see the trades that you should have never have taken. The journal fills itself in and it runs while you sleep, while you go off the groceries, while you go and do other stuff. You have a verdict in minutes, not at the weekend, and you have proof you stuck to the rules. Are you a trader looking to integrate the power of AI into your workflows? Book a call with me through the link below and we'll figure out together what kind of automation makes sense for you. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below. Any feedback is welcome and I'd like to hear your opinion. That's it for this one. Once again, thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one.